Hey there, what up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of General Chat. And as always, this and other podcasts in the Jazzy Groove Rainy Day Podcast family, is brought to you in the realm of 5, which we'll discuss later on. So get ready for that one. But on with the show, which today is consequences. We'll start with a general truism. And that's a two-part truism. The first part is, with great power comes great responsibility. And we're going to attribute that to the late, great Stan Lee of Marvel Comics, and Peter Parker and Ben Parker from Spider-Man, particularly, who were credited with that exchange. Ben told young Peter, with great power must come great responsibility. The second part of that truism is that for every action, there's an equal but opposite reaction. Which means if you do something, something's going to come of it. And those reactions could either be positive in nature or negative in nature. Negative reactions, are consequences. Positive results are called results or outcomes. We're going to concentrate on the negatives, the consequences. And here is, shout out to my friends at An Uncomfortable Truth. An Uncomfortable Truth right here when I tell you, 1. Life doesn't care about you. Life isn't fair. Life isn't kind. And a lot of times, life isn't just. Life is. And every person on this planet, from the day they are conceived till the day they die, have signed up to play the game. What do I mean by that? Simple. Everyone who ever was, who is, and whoever will be, on the day they are born, have automatically signed up to engage in the ritual we call life, with its good days, its bad days, its ugly days, and its indifferent days. It just is. It just is. You signed up for it. Was it your choice? No. Which is another uncomfortable truth. A lot of times things happen that aren't of your making. People that have the misfortune to be born into adverse situations. It could be poverty. It could be race. It could be socioeconomic. It could be a plethora of things. Anything. They didn't ask for that. When they were born, someone came up to them and said, "Listen, you can be rich or you can be poor. Choose one." I think they choose rich. Now, rich people come with problems. There's no such thing as a problem-free existence. But the problems rich people have are different from what poor people have. And poor people live life harder. Actually, no. Well, yeah, I'll say harder, but it's more different. than hard. Because rich people live life hard. Because even for those who are born into it, there's a certain cost to maintain it. And that's the difference between rich people and wealthy people. Chris Rock once said in one of his comic specials, a rich person can blow it all on a cocaine habit in the summer. Wealthy people can't give it away. Because a rich person, there's a cap on how much they have. Wealthy people remove that cap. There is no cap. A rich person could come up, you can give $20 million. Okay, a rich person is like a lottery person. They can get $20 million that will last them the rest of their life. They're not told how to spend it. They're not told what to do with it. They're just given it. And it's up to them to do things. A wealthy person, the difference between a rich person and a wealthy person is that the wealth will continue. A wealthy person is a person who gets that $5-10 million, invests it, and lives off the returns. That is, in a nutshell, how rich people stay rich. They don't touch the principal. They spend the interest. So if you have, you have $1 million. And you've invested it so that you receive $1,000, $2,000 a month. You can live on that $2,000. You never touch the million. And the million will compound and grow. You're still living. You're just on a budget. You're on a bigger budget than the average person. But it's still a budget. And that's how rich people stay rich. How you get there is totally up to you. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about consequences. Consequences between the sexes and in general, and dating and mating in particular. And let's start this conversation with this truism. You can do whatever you want to do. If you want to be a stripper, be a stripper. If you want to do sex work, do sex work. If you want to be an OnlyFans content creator, be an OnlyFans content creator. If you want to do porn, do it. No one is telling you what to do. However, there is a cost that comes with that. And there's where many people get the wrong impression. No one's telling you to not do it. They may suggest it. And even for those who have been told, no, don't do it, because of human nature, you're going to want to do it anyway. Why can't I do it? Why are you telling me no? I'm going to do it anyway because I want to find out what the big fuss is. That's human nature. But, and I say it again, there is a cost that comes with that. There's an outcome that you're going to have when you think that way. If you want to get into a job or a profession, I'll say, that objectifies your sexuality, just know that for the most part, you're going to be excluded from other things that people enjoy. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's fair. I'm not saying that's just. I'm saying it's expected. And I'm saying it's enforced. If you, let's say, if you want to do OF, OnlyFans, and you do it, and you make a whole bunch of money doing it, just know that for the most part, men are going to see you, and unless they want to have sex with you, they're not going to bother. Then they go, ew, no. I'll bang you, but I'm not going to wife you. I'll sleep with you, but that's as far as it's going. And again, men curb women covertly. Will never, ever, ever, ever tell you we're doing it. Because to do so would put you at a mating disadvantage. Even the most honest person is going to hesitate when it comes to that making that decision, that choice. They're going to hesitate. They'll probably wind up doing it anyway, but not before giving it a lot of thought. They're going to think, okay, if I tell this woman this is what it is, am I prepared for the consequences that will arise from it? And again, there it is. It's consequences. This statement will bring actions. This action will bring a reaction. And the guy will think, am I ready to accept what comes of this decision? And most of the time he'll say yes, okay. It is what it is. No, I want to do this to you. I don't want to wife you. What are you going to do about it? And the woman goes, no, that's all right. I'm going to pass. And then the guy goes to the next one. But the problem with this whole interaction is this. Women want the power of choice. But they don't want the repercussions of those choices. They want the actions, but they'll conveniently sidestep the reactions. Remember what Peter was taught. With great power must come great responsibility. Women want the power. They don't want the responsibility. For the most part. Again, and I don't know why I have to say this, but I will. If it doesn't affect you, don't worry about it. It's amazing that I even have to say it. It's unbelievable that the thought even has to cross my mind, let alone say it. If it doesn't concern you, if it doesn't involve you, if it doesn't spell out what you do, who you are, then I'm not talking to you. Move on with your life. Continue doing what it is you're doing. But there's so many women out there who's going to say, but. And that's another thing that many moderators in this space have to contend with, especially when it comes with the opposite sex. And that's, well, that doesn't happen to me. In my opinion, I know this, I know that, I know people. Bullshit. No one asked you if you knew anybody. Nobody cares. Period. No, period, body, period, cares, period, what, period, you, period, may or may not do. We don't care who you know. We don't care where you've been. We don't care what you've seen. Unless we ask you for it. Everyone is always on Myron Gaines' ass. And shout out to you, Myron and Walter, you two from Fresh and Fit. You guys are doing it. Continue doing what you're doing. You give people like myself a lot of things to think about, a lot of material to work with, a lot of ideas to espouse, and keep on doing what you're doing. We got nothing but love for you. Over here, I've got nothing but love for you. May not always agree. Granted. But all in all, love what you do. And Myron has said at least once, one time per show. And we're talking about the after hours here, not the other ones, because they do three different shows. We're not talking about money. We're not talking about fitness. We're talking about women. Because that's where the consternation comes from. And he'll say at least once a show. And before they actually go on air, they're given the lay of the land. And Myron will say to you, fuck your feelings. They have no place in this conversation. We're not talking about feelings. Nobody cares how you feel. Then why'd you ask a question? Because we asked you a question thinking that you are going to be factual in your answers. But no, you're not just knee deep, you're totally deep in your feelings. And I don't get it. With great power must come great responsibility. Be accountable. Own up to your imperfections. Own up to the times where you screw up. Own up to the times where you fall short. Because that's how you grow. Everyone makes mistakes. Shoot, Big Bird sung a song about it on Sesame Street back in the 70s. Everyone makes mistakes, so why can't you? Everybody, at one time or other, makes a mistake. It could be self-inflicted. It could be the result of unforeseen circumstances. But the mistakes can and will be made. So that's a non-starter. You're going to screw up. You're going to fall short. You're going to make a mistake. The growth comes when you stop. Look on your situation. Understand what's happened. Accept the fact that it happened to you, and then make steps to rectify that situation. And men do that as a matter of consequence every day. It's not kind. It's not just. It's never fair. Again, it is what it is. You'll never. I've said this before in regards to the rule of 5. We can't grow if we don't know. And that's a very simple way of saying, if you don't tell us what we can do to get better, we won't get better. The only thing I'll say about utopias and imperfections and things like that is this. If you never made a mistake, if you never slipped up, if you never fell short, you'd be perfect. And you'd live a long, happy, and successful life. We all would, because that would be the normal. But we don't live that way. We haven't lived that way. If you're a creationist, in about 6,000 years or so, if you're a Darwinist or evolutionist or whatever, we haven't lived that way ever. We've never had a perfect existence. So what's the point of that? What does that have to do with the cost of tea in China? Simple. If we didn't make mistakes, we'd be perfect. We're not perfect. So we're going to make mistakes. The growth comes from acknowledging it and taking steps to make sure that that mistake doesn't happen again. That's when you grow. One of my favorite commercials from back in the day was the G.I. Joe. Was a commercial. It's at the end of the show when they talk about things. And he said, and the kid would say something, and now I know. And the Joe guy would say, and knowing is half the battle. And that's true. Half the battle is knowing it. But it's not the battle. You haven't won yet. Because now you know it. What are you going to do about it? I'm going to now diverge into two different groups. And we're going to make it male and female. Males. I know a lot of you do this. And I know I'm speaking to the choir, but it must be said. Be accountable for yourself and your surroundings. Do the right thing as often as you can. Be mindful of your surroundings. Understand that what you do is going to affect other people because everything touches everything else. So understand that things are going to happen. It's how you react to it that's going to make it better or worse. women. Again, be accountable. It's not about you. It isn't. It's about life in general. Get out of your feelings. Put your biases and your beliefs on this shelf. Understand what's being said. Understand where you fit in on it. Take ownership of it. And then once that's occurred, then take the steps to ensure that it doesn't happen to you again. But I feel, no. Get your feelings out of it. Remember, life doesn't care what you feel. The sooner you understand and accept that statement, the better off and the quicker you're going to get better off. Life doesn't care about you. Because life's going to go on with or without you. Time is progressive. Time marches forward. Whether I'm here or not, time is going to continue to go forward. You can have your delusional beliefs. You can have your personal biases. You can have your feelings. Life doesn't care about them. Because if life did care about them, it would bend itself to make your worldview more prevalent. It doesn't do that. And because it doesn't do that, your arguments become moot. No one cares about you. I honestly wish more people and more women would understand that. Nobody cares. And the sooner you understand that, the better off we're all going to be. Actions, reactions, consequences. If you don't want the stigma that comes with sex work, don't do it. There are other ways to make money. And yes, they're going to be harder. But when you go to sleep at night, you go to sleep with secure the knowledge that you busted your hump to make your dollars. It's easy to take off your clothes. It's easy to gyrate in front of the camera. It's easy to do naughty things in front of the camera. I can hear you going, I hear people saying, no, it's not. It takes, no, that's bull. Because taking off your clothes is not the same as, let's say, flipping a burger. It's not the same. Putting things in your mouth that don't necessarily go in your mouth is not the same as coding software. You make your money much, much faster that way. And that, in and of itself, is the main reason why people do it. Easy money. But remember, fast money comes with slow problems. And those problems become, they become Johnny doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Or if he does, it's just in a sexual nature. Let's face it. Men love to have sex. We're hardwired for it. So we love to do it. The conflation comes when people mistakenly mix up sexual attention with romantic and relationship intention. You can have sex without love. Guys do it every day. But you cannot have love without sex, because sex is the ultimate form of love. Its primary function is to reproduce. But the act of sex itself is the ultimate expression of love. I love you so much that I'm going to open myself up to you, body and soul. I love you so much that I'm going to implant my seed in you with the hopes of you bearing my child. That's love. That's love. Anything else is lust. Anything else is superfluous. It's a bonus, if anything. It has nothing to do with anything. And if you think that way, if you think that it does and or is anything other than what I just described, nope, game over. Not gonna happen. I've said before, and I'll say it again. Everything touches everything else. If you sow the wind, you will reap the whirlwind. Everything touches everything else. For every action must come an equal but opposite reaction. With great power must come great responsibility. And anything else that you have to say about that, anything else, not going to happen. We're going to stick a pin in it right now. Some things I need to do. I'm going to come back and do a part 2 to this, because it has to be done. I'm going to hammer home this home, and I don't care how long it takes. Remember, we operate in the power of 5. Like, comment, subscribe, notify, share. Let people know what's going on. And we'll be back.